All
We're
right,
live.
welcome everyone. What is happening here? Hello, my name is Arthur, and we are live inside Somnium Space. And today we are having such a special occasion. We are having a live opening of the solo exhibition of Sky Gulpe, who is behind me, and that marvelous building and those marvelous guests here. Of course, the artist, the man himself, the creator will be guiding us through, and of course, Desi, who have built this amazing building, an amazing gallery, and Colburn from MOCA Gallery, and Serena, and all other. Hello, everyone. Show us some hands, some love.
Hello.
Whoop, hello.
Hello.
So we're live here from VR. Believe it or not, no, you are not drunk. You're not dreaming. You're actually looking at us being in VR. And thank you for joining the live stream. If you're in the live stream, of course you can join us in VR. If you have a VR headset, just jump into and come to us. But I guess without any further delay, we'll go and ask everyone what is actually happening behind me. So let's do that. Let me jump here.
Hi all.
Hello,
Hi all.
hello.
Hello.
Thanks for joining.
Hey everyone.
So
Welcome.
maybe a quick intro for those who don't know how this whole thing works. So we are actually right now live inside virtual reality world. We're standing here, everybody wearing VR headsets, and we'll be going through the gallery. We will be discussing stuff. All you see around us is real and in real time for everyone. The light, the moon, the rest of the world. We can talk about that later, but right now, I guess I give the word to Serena to guide us through today's evening or day for someone, and we'll start it from here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Arthur. Sorry, and welcome everybody to this solo show of Sky Golpe. I'd like to welcome all our guests and speakers for the day and give a big shout out to Sky Golpe for creating such amazing paintings that we're going to be going through in a moment. But before we do so, I'd love for the MOCA founders to give us a quick introduction about this project. So we have Colburn, Pablo, and Daisy with us today. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Colburn, I see you are here with us in VR. Would you like to give us a few words about MOCA and what you guys have been creating?
Yeah, of course. MOCA is acronym for the Museum of Crypto Art, right? And this is now going to be our 6th artist solo show that we put alongside our main museum. So, the museum is meant to house, and rotate through what we describe to be our permanent collection. And these solo exhibitions are meant, for an audience to perhaps connect with an art work that is at the museum and then come to these to go deeper inside that artist experience. So, a wonderful, again, tremendous build by Desiree. And I think, we would turn it over to her so she can talk a little about the inspiration.
Hi, everyone. So, we decided to make we all met together and spoke a little bit about what is the idea, what are we trying to portray Mattia's art to be seen in a physical architectural way, and how to represent it the best way and speak the language that it's trying to tell the viewer. So we focused on the mind and the way Sky Golpe concentrates on the inner self and the questions it asks itself and the way it lives. So we did a maze-like, very austere architectural maze in the form of the brain, with different nooks where you kind of see from above the nerve system of the brain happening at different times. So from the outside is very clean and austere, and we have just here where we're meeting a very simple introduction to what you will be seeing inside. So it's meant for you to wander around, remember these visuals that you're seeing for each space, and then somehow end up in this center nook where you will see the 3 main pieces by Sky Volpe speaking to you and sitting there. And everything is very open at the sky. So you'll have the moonlight, the daylight, the sunset, the sunrise playing with you as you contemplate the art pieces.
Beautiful.
Mattia, if you want to talk
Mm.
about a bit more about this
Yeah, yeah,
entrance and the
sure.
piece that we
It
selected.
was it was incredible the way that me and Daisy clicked about this idea of the mind and on of representing a mind and a human brain with the labyrinth inside and I think it was incredible as you will as you will see soon the way that she actually managed to represent a concept in a physical way and I think this is really what makes this space special, which is the idea that led something that then acquire a certain energy because it comes from a concept, and it was a pleasure. I mean, I really wanted to start this view with a piece that for me is an introduction to the viewer for what is expecting him. So I really tried with this intro to create an intimacy with the viewer and to show him in a way what he's gonna expect to create for him or her the right state of mind to approach the view. So I think this piece is really strong because of course it starts from a black and white, which is the most simple but as well the most explicative manner to see reality and superficiality and depth. So I think that this painting was actually a great way to start the tour.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mattia and Desi, for describing us about the building and how we're going to be going through the work of Sky Golpe. I know that there are more paintings inside, and it's going to be a whole experience just by going through the works. So I will let Daisy lead us into this infinite brain space of the worlds of Sky Golpe.
Hi, yeah, of course. So if you guys follow me, we'll be going in through one of the entrances. So you will, for now, we're going to come in this way, if you follow me. Thank you. And then we are going to speak about the first two main pieces of Sky Golpe's exhibition.
So I think here we are really still at the more external layers of the brain, and so we thought it was the perfect place to put this work that for me represent the more superficial part of my work, which doesn't mean that death is not there, but of course it's connected mostly to what is outside myself, and it goes to relate, for example, to socioeconomic issues or politics in a way, even though I wouldn't really flag it in this way. But of course, it goes to touch wider topics that are actually much far away from your interiority, and also these pieces are also a tribute to the crypto art and to the crypto system that when I discovered it, I just felt so empowered as an artist, and I was so excited about this new movement, and also also from an economical aspect, I think it's going to be an incredible revolution. And so these pieces are also a tribute to this part, so a pure tribute to the crypto art movement for what is giving to me as an artist and as a human being. So, for example, this piece is maybe the more explicative in this way because it's called Erosion, and it speaks about freedom. So this figure cannot really have a shelter from this rain. So until maybe years ago, we didn't really have any choice, and we had to definitely follow certain things like fiat, for example, to be in an economical system. So with no repair, and actually the subtitle of this piece is "No Freedom, no Choice," and so I picked the metaphor of erosion as something that slowly but constantly, don't bring any value, but actually goes and remove value. And if we move forward to this painting, so this painting is of course there are some socio-economic references as well, but this piece also represents me as an artist coming from a street artist background. So I was very lucky to be in London around 2005, 2006 during the street art golden age. Met incredible people there, and of course we were all inspired also by this kind of punk mood, which I really love, the static, the color, the power of the symbols. And this piece is very interesting because then I had this idea, this Wi-Fi riot. So imagining a future where Wi-Fi access becomes as precious as maybe the access of water, and maybe public access to the net is not anymore so normal as we experience it today. And then I did all this dystopic idea of a future where maybe riot could come because of this. And I think is a piece that go and touch important parts that are happening in our society, and maybe we don't realize it now because we live on it, but for sure can lead to some interesting reflections. So, and this, by the way, is part of a series of work which is called Light Punk Portraits.
Fantastic.
Can I?
I'll maybe add one technical aspect. Since we are in a virtual reality world, which is powered by a blockchain, this is the NFT token. And how do we know that? We can just click on the NFT, and we can see all the information about it. We can even open it in a browser, in a VR browser, and look up and maybe even purchase if that would be for sale. Obviously, we see it's not listed, so it's not for sale. But yeah, you can explore the token and eventually purchase it directly from within VR.
Can I ask a question about this, Gagolpe? I noticed that, a lot of your portraits have different orientations of the face, right? And this one is forward facing, it's very confrontational. I'm curious, and I think, as we go deeper, we'll see also that maybe more internally reflective pieces have more side profiles. And I'm curious if this is a conscious choice in this piece to be very forward facing and very direct.
Absolutely. I mean, I really love impact in my work. I really go and look for it. So what I really love is when actually there is a big impact at first sight, but not an immediate and direct understanding of it. So in this way, I love to think to leave also some room for introspection and for interpretation. So this is also another of my objectives. So, but of course, the choice of the basically shooted face in the front, it is definitely a style choice, 100%.
Yeah, amazing.
And Mattia, can you tell us a bit more about the graffiti as well that you used and how these street art has influenced the creation of the digital works?
Yeah, I mean, is in this case is mainly from my side an aesthetic, really an aesthetic passion and an aesthetic inclination. So I tend to love really simple symbols that hold an incredible impact, and I think this graffiti, punk, but overall all the suburban culture, in a way, are a really great example of this. And I am totally inspired by those visuals, and basically I get fascinated and I really try to bring this touch inside my pieces. But the street art was honestly like my real first escaping from reality in a way, because so also working in the street, meeting incredible people. So come from relatively small city from Italy, then moving to London, and then finally, you know, having the chance to, in a way, expand your views. And you know, there was always this kind of, at the base, a bit of anti-system, even though I'm not politically, I wouldn't consider myself necessarily anti-system, but I love the twists and I love the shades that creates when there is this kind of communication involved, because I think
Mhm.
it really push for a deeper reflection of our society, you know, and sometimes to play with extreme things, apparently extreme things, I think can help to have a better reflection about our society. Otherwise, everything would be always smooth, and obviously that's not the case, you know.
Thank you. Yes, it's
But,
wonderful to see that the bright lighting of these artwork actually shining in the dark in these buildings. So
Yeah.
wonderful.
fantastic. Maybe one
Thank you.
comment
Oh,
from the technical comment to
Nice.
the viewers. By the way, we have I think around about 50 viewers right now. So hello everyone who are watching.
hello.
Hello.
Let me
Thanks
Hey,
let
for
me let
being
me
here
say thank you for being with us. And maybe one
with
technical
us.
technical detail. If you're wearing headphones and suddenly you hear that the sound direction changes for you, no, you're not going crazy and mad. It's actually happening inside our my headset because the sound is directional, and whoever is speaking to me from one side, and I'm turning my head. So if Mattia will be speaking to me right now, for example, and I'll be turning away my head from him, the sound will be turning as well. So that's why you hear it like that, and that's why sometimes sound orientation changes. So don't worry, it's a feature.
Hmm.
Thank you.
okay. Shall
Shall we?
we go on to the next one, Daisy?
Yes. Yes. So you can follow me. Um, going back. So we're back outside, and we're gonna try another entrance. I'm waiting.
Okay, let me switch to a selfie mode for a second. 1 second. The operator is coming. All right.
Can we progress, Arthur?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay,
Okay.
so we're taking this route, which is a little bit more direct into the center point of the brain.
I
And
love
again,
it.
you'll see through the walls that some of them are not to the corners, or they're a little bit broken. So you can't really pass through them, but you'll see a little bit of hints of what's going on the other side. And you'll see little hints of color, or maybe pieces, or maybe trees that will intrigue you to try to figure out how to get there. So here we're going to move
Oh
into
wow.
another very important piece that we actually own and have at MOCA that we've decided to display here at this exhibition.
Yeah. So here we start to get basically more inside the brain, and as you can see, the approach becomes even keeping some figurative elements. I like to see these more as an evocative approach, so it becomes more indirect in a way, uh, but also more effective from a perception, in my opinion. So this piece is mainly inspired by me wanting to represent my state of mind, and really my inner quest, you know, for asking me questions about why I am behaving in a certain way, or why did I think this related to a certain topic, and all this sort of meditation, let's say, just bring out some very interesting elements. So, for example, this piece is called Overthinking. Uh, I think that the title is quite self-explanatory, but I think what I really love about this is how digital helped me to see time time that can, through this loop and through this cycle, be completely integrated in the composition. And so I think that this dichotomy between rebirth, death, eternity, starting something new, is what really gets at the back of the mind of this painting. And another thing is with this one, when I made it, I was really also thinking about the concept of being alone, because most of the time, I think, at least in my case, as artist, I tend to really isolate myself for long time, and I don't think that from outside maybe is the struggle and is perceived probably as I am experiencing it within. And so this was also a way to emphasize this kind of sacrifice, which I think is essential for an artist, but at the same time, it leads you to pay less attention to other aspects of the life that should be important too, you know. And so this is all enclosed, I think, in this composition.
Thank you so much, Mattia, for describing the work to us. That's something I would like to ask you, since we're looking at these work, and I can see that it is clear that you've mixed painting on canvas and digital. And I would love for you to describe how do you merge physical and digital art? What's the process that you apply?
Sure. Okay. I mean, this for example started from a canvas, and then when I started to got passionate to crypto art and really felt like a genuine push to try to experiment in digitalizing my works somehow, I began this new technique basically, which is, I mean, it's not new, honestly. It's just that what I try to obtain is to not to remove the feeling to look into a painting, even though there is a digital layer on the top of it. And so I generally call it as a sort of organic digitalization. It took me several experiments and several tests, but I think that now you know, of course, it is obvious that there is a digital layer, but in a way you kind of keep preserving the idea of staring to a painting somehow, you know, for the work of texture, for the way the animated is dispatched on the work, and so I mean this was really my goal, and I went for it until I didn't reach that moment where I felt okay, now I think I got there, and honestly I really hope that this is just the beginning of my adventure in this new, because it's relatively new for me, and I'm so inspired to progress, and you know, so basically I'm trying to create an hybrid dimension between the digital and the physical, and also including part of the process while I'm painting. So I'm just trying to recording and trying how to actually mix all this to obtain a kind of a third hybrid state where digital and physical can meet.
Sky Golpe, I have a technical question. I'm noticing thick paint, you know, maybe even palette knife on the outside, but the drips seem so much like, you know, it makes sense to me now because you mentioned the street art, and the drips seem like spray paint falling down. Is it spray paint or is it just really thick paint?
No, it's acrylic. Is acrylic and mixed media, but no spray paint involved, because I mean, this is a good, as you can see, it's a technical question, because the spray for the dripping, it is probably the best option because of the way it spills down, okay? But in a way, I'm, I should build a work around the idea that I'm using a painting because it is much more intense than using acrylic or oil, where you can actually shade things in a much more in a much more smooth way, whereas the spray is very direct,
Mm.
So, I mean, I also love spray as well, but no, for this kind of works, I mostly use acrylic and, yeah, mixed media. It might be marker, sometimes oil, chalk. It can be many
Mm.
things, but mainly acrylic.
Thanks.
Awesome.
I think in this work, Sky Gold has really achieved, it went to the next level of what art can really represent into the digital realm, as is really achieved a second layer of entering into these very intimate um, portrait and transcending what the physical painting um, is like. And I always wanted to describe Sky Golpe as the Modigliani of crypto art because, and that's something I think very deeply about when I see his work, but it is really about capturing that essence that is behind what we see. And I think by applying these animation and taking into crypto, it is really diving into the layers of what we perceive as art. And so going deep into what digital it can transmit to the soul and communicate that. So thank you so much, Mattia, for this work. I think it's
Thank
one
you,
of
Serena,
your
but you're always embarrassing me when you say that.
And
no, you shouldn't be.
let me also embarrass Desi
It's not
because
my idea.
let me also try to embarrass
Sorry, I have to
Desi
say
But
because
that.
thank you.
I
Yeah.
want to say and praise how
But
this
thank you so
build
much, Serena, for your words. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's a
just
pleasure. Yeah,
complements your art, and how this build plays with the light and makes the art to stand out and kind of finds the right place
that's so true.
to
Yes.
the art, and it just makes so much sense, like all these stars and moons and
Mm.
lights and shadows which are
Yeah,
moving and stuff. It is, I mean, I know for sure, because I work a lot with the builder, but I know for sure you spend a lot of time building this. Even for maybe for some, of the live viewers, they might say, "Hey, it's just concrete walls here, and that's it." No, they're not, and I can guarantee you, there's a lot of thinking which went into this build. So, fantastic job, absolutely amazing build,
thank you.
and I
No, yeah,
recommend everyone visiting it.
the the builder, I think I love it because it feels like it's a puzzle game with me and the builder. So I'm always trying to figure out how to make a build, the next build, be so different from the ones
Right.
that I've done before, and push it to another limit. And for example, just looking for concrete textures that work with the art piece. Which one, for example, concrete can come in many different type of forms. So it can be casted in this way. It could be casted with wood planks. So just like how it would work with the art piece, especially because also Somnium allows you for the NFT to glow at night. So I think that adds a lot more dramatic
Mm-hmm.
contrast with this type of architecture and playing with the lighting. So I would stay with the builder and I would simulate the whole day and see how the light hits the walls in a different way. So you'll see the openings not only allowing you to see through a bit of what's going on in the next room, but also I opened it according to how the trajectory of the sun was hitting it at different times of the day. So allowing light, natural light, to pierce through most of it to the center of the building.
It's
And
fantastic.
the lighting prop of that you're allowed to use in the builder, I kept them above us, so you'll see that there's light very dimly put above the
Yeah,
walls,
it's
and then
crazy.
below
Yeah.
you'll have that contrast of the NFT.
Yeah, and the way
It's
how the
incredible.
real light which you've put in the builder,
Yes.
like mixes with the real light from the moon or the sun,
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
it plays tricky games with my mind. All right, so
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
very
think
moonlight lighting at night, and during the day the sun, but it doesn't like overpower
yeah, yeah,
the artwork. So it's beautiful. Something you can't really do in the real world with art and architecture,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to protect yourself from the weather, and art pieces could get
Of
ruined.
course.
So depending on what art you have. So this is just amazing, having to push the boundaries in how to display art in this world.
And
Fantastic.
that's such a beautiful perspective at the back. You look up, I don't know, Arthur, if you can show this, but you can see the moon
Yeah, I've been
sort of
showing
coming
it
through.
all the time. Yeah,
Yeah, the
it's
building, and yeah, the lighting is and the concrete at the back, it really makes the painting stand out.
yeah, it's fantastic.
If you guys, will want to move to the next one, which also plays with
Mm-hmm.
lighting, and we made a skylight with natural light coming in. So I'll let Mattia come in first,
Thank you.
and then I think we'll all meet in the corner here.
Okay. Let's
So if you
wait
look
for
up,
everyone to
you'll
come.
have this floating skylight, not connected to the
Nice.
wall, which is impossible in real
It's
life
incredible.
architecture.
Oh wow! Oh
Wow.
wow!
It's
Tremendous.
Wait a
it's
second.
incredible.
Let me make some shots for the viewers to understand what's happening here. And yeah, I'm looking at this slide, and this slide is real-time lighting. It changes
Yeah.
according to the movement of the moon and the light. It's crazy. All right, this shot is done.
And for
So
me,
the word is yours.
is an incredible emotion to stare at my art like in a space like this. It just feels like mind blowing, honestly, and the space gives so much to the art. I mean, that's the thing, and I think it's also the most difficult thing to obtain when you do such a work, you know, because to try to combine the essence of the work with the view of the architect and
And
so,
that's the
you know,
power, and I have to say, it's the power of
what can I
VR.
say?
It's a power of VR where you can actually stand in front of the art
Yeah,
and do this, you know, like
absolutely.
and just have it
Yeah,
in a
and
It's
full
also
scale.
the overwhelming feeling
going
Yeah,
up
that you
close.
get
yeah,
is
yeah.
Yeah.
different. It's totally
The
different than
scale, yeah.
Yes, an attachment you
Very
are
yeah,
getting
physical.
from
you
this,
know.
like I found it's very bad for my money, but it's very good for the art industry in general. Crypto art. I find that when I see some art like this on a wall in VR, I kind of want to buy it, all right? And because I start to imagine how this will look in my gallery, which is like a few kilometers away from here. But and that's exactly it, right? I can imagine it in the scenery which I will build to also put it somewhere and have it. And it's just fantastic. Your brain starts to kind of go through those options and think, oh, what if this would be in my room somewhere, in my gallery or in my villa, whatever. That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so
But yeah,
this is
yes, I was going to
another.
ask you if you can give us a
So,
description about
Someone's
this
running
work.
around.
sure.
Oh, can you
So
hear
this
me?
is. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me, Serena?
Yes, yes. I was going to ask you if you can give us a description about this work, mainly to talk about the title of the work, which I think is so,
Yeah, sure.
um,
So
you know, has a story
this
for
work,
itself.
sure. So this work is actually a good example of a work that I made starting from a concept first. So I was when I found out about the title, which is actually atikiphobia, which is the fear of failure. So when I found out about this word, I was immediately felt something very very intimate to this because I always experienced this feeling, and it was a good inspiration for a reflection also of understanding that, especially in Western society, ambition and anyway, in a way, find progression and is a very highlighted value, I think, and this lead also to lots of pressure, but I think also to that they think that maybe they don't care much about that, but just living in such an environment, in a way or another, is gonna influence you somehow. Either that maybe you're gonna even go against this, but still, it came from the influence of the environment, which is a big topic that I play in my paintings, which is always like we don't choose our influences. I mean, we should choose more often our influences, because that is going to really dictate at the end of the day who we are. Because no one is so strong to say, okay, I will be this, and is not affected by what is happening outside. Anyways, So with this, I really exercise this feeling that was so really powerful also in myself. And I'm very happy because I think I managed to actually place it on the canvas and then after in the digital canvas. But I mean, now when I look at this painting, I kind of feel relieved because this pressure is there, you know.
Mm.
So but yeah, this is a very good example of a piece that where a concept really inspired me, an action, and then an idea and then an execution, and this basically belong to the same timing of overthinking, and the technique is very similar. So with this organic digitalization, but always trying to present the essence of the painting that is staring at you in a way.
We have a new guest here,
Hi.
Sasha. You can go inside the room
Hello.
and enjoy the
Thank
art
you.
as well.
Hello.
I
Hi,
don't know,
Mocha.
maybe
Is that you,
is
Desiree?
Serena maybe
Yes.
disconnected?
The Serena,
Nice to
I
meet you.
guess she disconnected, so we can either
Okay.
continue, or if anyone has question
Yeah.
about this particular art piece, so we can place the question. By the way, if someone from live stream, one second, Sasha, when someone from the live stream who is watching have a question, the best way to place the question would be as an answer to the tweet of Museum of Crypto Art. Directly below the tweet, you can place your question. We're monitoring that, and we will ask Skygolpe the question, and he most probably will answer to you. So Sasha has a question about
Yeah.
this art piece. Go on, Sasha.
Yes. Sorry, I'm coming in a little bit late, and forgive me if you've answered it already. But what was your the significance of having the face obscured?
Okay. No, actually, this is a good point. I mean, I think that the proof of essence in a way really lays behind the face that every day we have to adapt to the situation that we live, to the environment where we are, and our goals. So this is why I always love to portray actually, as almost if I am removing the layer of the face, but actually to create a more honest take about emotions and about interiority. So this is why, really, because I think it maybe if I would put a face, it would help me more, but removing a face, I think that gives also more room for the viewer to interact with the piece, and also to find an inspiration, or a question. So
And
so yeah, I
can
think this is probably the main reasons.
can I
Thank you.
ask about this choice of uniform as well? Because
Yeah.
whenever I think about the button-up shirts, very tight around the neck, a formal uniform, and you talk about this fear of failure and how we present ourselves. I'm curious uh, if this, I guess, outfit has a
Yeah.
personal significance to you, or why
Yeah,
it was chosen.
totally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's connected to what I was saying before about the Western society, basically. So I think it could be a good metaphor or a good symbol that could immediately recall to something, and so the white collar, of course. So in a way, it is also like, okay, we as people, society tend to idolize maybe the person who gets in power, the person who has money, but how do they really feel? I mean, how do these really? How do these people feel? Do we know that? No, we don't. We can just imagine it. And so of course this was a kind of an extra element to the composition to make the narrative a little bit more related to my society, which is the Western world, of course. And I think it served the purpose, I guess, because in a way you cannot totally say, for example, that this is a businessman, or maybe a soldier, maybe, it kind of leave you suspended on what it is, but just the fact that the color is there, in a way, it just change a bit the composition, you know what I mean? So I think I like that it kind of stood in between. I think it stands in between. I mean, it's not over. It's not taking like the lead of the piece,
Absolutely.
It's just
I
like
have a
a
question.
symbol, basically.
Yeah, let's see. Go on.
So, for example, when your art piece, when you saw it for the first time in the VR world, and you saw like all the digital aspects that you added to it, the movement in the neck and the background, how did it feel from how you were seeing in your computer screen? Like, did you expect
I
it to
mean,
have this?
if
It almost feels like
no,
the face is in the front layer, the neck is in the back layer,
Yeah,
and the back,
right.
like you'll see layers, so it's very beautiful, and like the movement of the red pixels going on the neck, I think is very powering. So
honestly,
was it
I
surprising?
absolutely didn't expect such an experience in VR. For me, it's the first time, my very first time in VR, and
Welcome.
I mean, it's just. I think it's a bit like I'm doing with my art, which is kind of trying to create new dimensions. Starting from dimensions that we know and just blend them in different ways. Then maybe additional associations.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect, in my opinion, example. And also the experience is
Hi, Serena.
much more immersive, much more immersive. Like,
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, you can really stand and stare. I mean, I would probably, because it's mine, I don't know, but I really would spend some time, here to look at
Yeah.
this and the complexity and also the impact that the scale, also
The scale,
the
yeah.
ability to play with
Yeah.
scale with in a way that in physical, and of course, I think scale, for example, for exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Completely changed.
100%.
Like,
I mean,
for example, if you see a small painting, abstract, and then you see it huge, it's just completely,
yeah.
completely.
But
changed,
look at all of us. Look at all of us getting close and looking at the texture, and you can only see
Yeah.
the texture up close. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, it's
beautiful.
incredible.
100%. Yeah.
Wow.
And also you can see that
Wow.
the movement of the neck, those pixels are behind some other texture. At least
And the
how I
noise.
see it, right? And
Yeah.
then this
Right.
it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
it's
it's perfect.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
You don't notice it's static until you get close. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
And hey, Sky,
Sure.
was this red pixel informed by Murat Pak's work with his red pixel, or was this on your own?
No,
This is
sorry,
more
I
than
didn't
one.
get the question because the audio is a bit. Sorry.
Sorry. So what I was saying is, I see that you're using these red squares, very accentuated pixels in the neck, and I'm wondering if that's informed by Murat Pak and his red pixel comment.
No. Honestly, I didn't think. I think a red pixel, is quite a common thing, Even though I really love Pac piece, and I think
Yeah.
it's great, but that was not the case.
Okay. Just checking.
All right, shall we continue
Okay, do you
the
guys
tour?
want to move?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Yeah.
So let's move more. And I think, so here you'll see I accentuated the entrance this way to the triptych room.
Using the neons there.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
So it's kind
Oh
of like,
wow,
I
this room is
decided
Look at
to
the
go-
lighting.
fantastic. Wow,
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect timing on the night. Look at the bars.
Yeah.
incredible.
And I'm tired, so I'm going to go ahead and take a seat.
Yeah, and the direction of the beams that play right where the art pieces are. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's incredible.
And so now we are in the epicenter of the brain, basically. So this is
we are in the
this
center,
room,
in the center of the maze.
yeah, in the
Wow.
center of the maze, and I don't know if Arthur showed already the sky, the top part with the.
Yes,
It's
yes,
just-
yes.
It's just
I've
incredible.
ran
It's
around.
just-
I will be doing some
I mean-
shots.
I mean, this room is I mean incredible, really, and we thought that to actually close in a way the exhibition with the triptych and create appositely a room that could emphasize also the power of three pieces, you know, together. And I think Desi on this one made an incredible work. And so here is basically the closing triptych. It is a kind of a seasonal work in a way. So there is a process that is going on here, which is basically facing reality in everyday aspects in everyday life. So this was really my inspiration to this. It was basically a warning to understand, obviously starting from a very severe and heavy state, leading to basically some hope that is holding there, but that still has to face with reality. Okay, so to actually let this to become, you know, the reality, you be grounded, in my opinion, and you really need to keep questioning yourself about things. And it's not an easy process. It's not easy at all. And of course, here is my main theme about all these works is always identity, basically, and the struggle and the quest and looking for, you know, to understanding identity and the meaning of identity in our society or for ourselves. And I think, for example, in the centerpiece, which is titled "Under the Skin," I think is visible my trying to express what could be behind what we generally perceive. And this was the main inspiration of this trip, really.
Fantastic. It's a very
So, you
powerful
know,
room. Very powerful room, I must say.
and then in this room, you know, it just completely take another level, of course. And I think, yeah, this was the best way to
Yeah.
explore really the center of the brain and the center of the maze.
Wow.
Maybe I have a
Yeah,
question.
and you can notice there's three entrances, so it's kind of like you're coming in from the three minds.
All right.
So it's like different ways to enter this room. So you kind of have to travel through a journey through these different elements. You'll see the opening here is a little bit more tight. There's more open. Yep. Here you have like a main more. So it plays around with the viewer and how they are coming into this room.
Desi, you mentioned three minds. Are there specific minds, or just there's all sorts of different minds?
No, so I'm trying to play with the three triptych art pieces that Sky has decided to display in this room. So I crafted this room custom made for these three pieces to be displayed. So I thought it would be very important to come in through the brain through these three entrances, especially in the three directions where the art pieces are placed.
Oh, and so cool, because as you're coming in the entrance, you see one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question.
I love what
if I may.
I love what you're saying here.
Yeah, go on.
Can I say? I love what you're saying, because what it's pointing to is a whole new discipline, which is curating, but in a VR space, so that you're creating the building, the environment, everything, not just hanging pieces on a blank white wall.
Of course.
It's awesome.
Yeah, 100%. And a question to this guy, to you for the pieces.
Yep.
When I come close, at least I realized it when I came close to the piece. I realized that kind of like the background and you know, there are kind of like holes in the whole art, right? Because there is a hole in the neck, there is a hole here, and then this is kind of like half transparent because of those holes. And here you have another background and also a hole, but kind of in a different dimension because there's different color.
Yeah.
Can you say a little bit of the meaning for that? Is there any hidden meaning, or why you decided to do it here?
I mean, like the noise in my work generally is always representing the environment. So what is not within ourselves. So what basically we cannot choose to avoid. Okay. Because in my opinion, there are certain things that we simply cannot avoid, you know?
True.
And these things play a major unconscious role. our psychology, in our mind, and in our identity. Okay? So,
Mm-hmm.
as much as we, of course, can stand up and find ways to deal with this reality, still is there. Okay? So that's why 99% of the time in my work is noise, because noise is always there.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And the reason why most of my characters are in a way dark, okay, is because myself, I am myself struggling to understand my identity, to understand who I am, why I am, basically, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And all these kind of existential questions that seems vain, but in reality they are not. And most of the time, there's not much time spent on it. You know, we kind of jump on a flow, and we just go. You know, and maybe if we would stop to analyze and rationalize, it would be a little bit different. So that's why I'm making my painting, because it helps me to stop, it helps me to analyze,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps me in a way to rationalize, you know?
Fantastic.
So at the moment, like it's in a dark age, let's call it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't, I mean, it could be that digging, you know, and then maybe even a big shift can come in my work, in my, you know, in my mood, you know? But to be a little bit more about your question is just that spark of color, because this actually, we didn't say it, is titled Delusion Progress.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically you can see the progress, okay, and how vibrant and how appealing can be, but then you also have reality and you have noise. So
Fantastic. Yeah.
that's what the piece is about.
It's, and again, like especially this piece with a little bit of blue accent on it. Um, the way how the moon is shining on it right now, and the light,
Yeah, yeah,
it's just like this
absolutely.
concrete wall is a little bit blue because of the moonlight and the light, and this piece. It's crazy. I mean, I'm used to VR. I
It's
have thousands of hours in VR. All right, and every time I come to this room, and I've been here 3 times around right now, it
yeah,
has an impact on me, and Sasha can confirm as
yeah,
well. I'm pretty sure you are a VR veteran, same as myself, and this room is special, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, we encourage to visit it if you didn't yet in VR. You would definitely be impressed by this build and by this art. We can guarantee you that.
I have one more thought on this one, Sky. Is the
yeah, sure.
uh, in Chinese philosophy, there's these different layers and levels, and we tend as Anglo-Saxon, you know, first worlders, we tend to cut our emotions at the neck, and we don't let it up. And I
Oh,
wonder if there's
right.
anything in
Yeah,
there about how the emotions are hiding just in the throat, like a scream
yeah,
almost, but wanting to come out.
yeah, totally. I mean, like, I never find a specific meaning to my paint. I mean, rarely find a very specific meaning to my painting. What I do, I let the instinct to lead me to a point where I know that basically it is representing many things. It cannot
Uh-huh.
only represent one. And for example, the interpretation that you just gave is totally perfect and it fits perfectly. And I also agree, by the way. So I mean, yeah, is this kind of, it's like when I paint, I try really to be as irrational as I can, and to let all my emotions and my feelings that maybe living a normal social life, generally they tend to stay at the back just because we don't need them in, for example, interacting with what is outside ourselves. So some people meditates, you know, some people do exercise or whatever. I think that with painting, I can really find the time for myself and to try to understand better and to evolve as a human being first, and but
Yeah.
of course as an artist, because I couldn't live without art. But It has a lot to do with also my personal improvement, you know,
Mhm.
as a person,
Yeah,
uh, and that's why, you know, is that's why I do it. Basically, that's why I do it.
absolutely.
I think Serena is having probably some problems to
Hey, Colburn,
reconnect.
good to see you.
But
We
Yeah, but
can, I think
we can
we
continue.
can, yeah, we can continue.
Definitely.
I'll show them the floating textured egg that I
Oh
think
yeah, let's
is
Yeah,
a
go
yeah,
there.
yeah.
wonderful
Please.
piece, and the little details that we've come up with to show part of Sky Gulp's life, not just in his paintings, but what he sees as what when he walks around. So here you'll see these little nooks where we place these like isolated objects, and we've asked Mattia to send us images of a texture that represents him or that is very important to him. And this
Wow.
one was one that he took a picture of himself, and we placed it here so people can walk around it, all around it, and have the natural light hit at the top. And at some point, you can even transport yourself up the egg and see part of the maze. So I don't know if Mattia wants to talk a bit more about this.
Well, I mean, this is was really where I really tried to. I mean, you made so much to get close to me and my mind and my
Yeah.
essence to create this place, and this was a bit the way for me to actually come a bit close to your idea of architecture. So when I saw this, when we were talking about texture, about materials, about, you know, the kind
Yeah.
of mood that we want. So when I saw this picture that it actually now, because you see it as a sphere, but it's actually a picture that I took in London about a wall that had so many textures and layers, and in a way I always had a feeling like kind of an existential pictures because of the number of layers that were there. And so when you ask me, maybe, you know, how can we
Oh, Serena.
enhance this, how can we put a detail, I think that this picture was just perfect
Yeah.
to you know, to give a touch,
Yeah, it
and
reminds
a
me
bit
of
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 contrast.
the layers that you put on the faces on some of your
Exactly,
pieces.
also,
So
and a bit, exactly,
Serena,
the
hey,
calling of
I
my
found the
work.
way. Can you hear me?
And
I'm
and
doing.
and,
You're
and the
following me.
quality
I'll
and the
share a
quality of
sec.
the texture is fantastic.
Or maybe I'm
yeah,
lost
Yeah,
with you. Hold on. Oh, yeah.
It just
This way.
it's just wow. Like I'm showing it right now on the stream, like a
Oh, I'm lost.
very close up
I was
view,
lost.
and it's
All right.
just super detailed, very detailed.
yeah,
So it was incredible because,
I'm
I mean,
lost.
basically we led to
Here you go. I
a
found the way. Follow
spontaneous
me.
installation. We can
yeah,
call it like that, you know, because we didn't plan it, and
You
that
got me here. This way,
you
Serena.
know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was.
And then back through
I
here.
think that some
yeah.
element of contrast, you know, like this was totally
Yeah,
And
perfect
and
for
it
the
helped
space.
also like
And
come
then
up
this
with
way. You got it?
little trigger points of where to lead you into the space.
There they are.
Yeah.
And you see the live stream, we can see
This way.
that Maze is actually being tested right now because some people got lost,
Thank you.
and it just
Yeah,
proves to you that it's
We
not
got
easy.
lost in the brain here.
Exactly, it's not easy to find a way in your brain or in any other person's brain. It's just
In
not easy
in
Yeah.
in any
brain,
brain.
in
It's
my
not easy. 100%.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
so I think Serena, if you wanna have any points to talk about here, or we can lead to the next space.
Hi everyone. Yes, sorry I'm back. I had some issues and I'm finally back. Thank you for taking me here, guys. Yes, I
Yeah, we
don't
can
know
hear you.
if great, awesome. I don't know if Matthias already talked about the topic around identity and inner
Yeah,
self.
yeah, because we
You
have
have
been
already.
in the actually we have been in the triptych room, and
Okay,
we see this, we
super.
saw this concept about identity and the way that it is affecting my work and this question. So, yeah, and now
That's
we were
great.
moving here to this installation that Daisy created, starting from one of my pictures that I took in London. It was a very special picture that I was actually keeping for for something special, and I think it definitely
That
found its
qualifies for
way.
sure.
You know?
Oh, look at
Yeah.
the shadow of Arthur coming down.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
shadows
I
are
mean,
just
lighting is
incredible.
Yeah,
incredible,
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
It's
It's
totally
really
out,
cool.
Oh,
mind
hey,
blowing.
Colburn.
Look at the
Oh,
shadow.
you're there. Hello.
Hey, what?
It's
He's
so
standing
cool.
on the art. Is that okay with you, Sky
Wow,
Golpe? He's
wow,
Yeah,
it's
these
crazy.
shadows are like incredible.
Wow.
And this is mind you, it's a combination of the moon and the artificial lighting you've placed on the
Yeah.
in this. It's just like you're a Batman, Colburn, all right? At least a Batman.
That's the thing. That's one of the things that VR pushes everyone to just experiment things that you don't really do
Yeah,
in
yeah.
real life. Like you can touch an art piece, which in some museum you're like you can't because of the treatment and the
Yeah.
oil and
Yep.
in your hands, right? So in virtual reality, the user literally can interact with the art in such a different way than it would in the real life.
Yeah, I'm
And wait
wearing
till
this one now.
haptics.
How's this look?
Haptics are going to change this even more.
And
Oh
we
yeah,
still have to
yeah, of
show,
course.
and we still have to show one of the coolest thing yet.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
really?
I think
Yeah,
we should move.
it's not yet. It's not done yet.
Yeah,
Wow.
maybe we
That's, you thought
Wow.
you've seen
Let's all
everything?
move.
Nope.
Okay, let's
Exactly.
move this
Here comes a
way.
surprise.
Okay, are we finding?
So the whole point, okay, the whole point in the entrance is we have two ways. If we come outside for a second here and see it.
Okay, let us go outside.
So we have we have another way to view the maze, not only through the perspective of the grounding of walking around it. There is this infinite ladder that takes you to the sky. So if you walk up, you'll see a platform right at the edge of the wall inside that hallway, and and you can see the maze.
Colburn,
through
that's
that
a spoiler.
perspective. Or
Colburn feels
Or
like
you
a
can
kid
go
in a
up
Luna Park.
the floating platform that will
He's
lead you
having
way
too
up.
fun. He's having too fun.
Sorry.
Okay,
sorry.
so we try first the
pardon.
high platform. I will take the stream
Yeah.
the stream with me on the high platform. You guys can stay here, and I'll show you from the top. I'll show the brain, and I'll show you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
And you can wave at me when I'm up there. So give me a
Okay,
second.
perfect.
All right, let's have a ride live stream. I know you want it. I want it
Hi,
too.
Sharina. Nice to meet you.
So let's do it.
Hey, hi.
Oh,
How
we're
you doing?
coming up.
How you
We're
doing?
coming up. It's going up. Woo, woo, woo. This is crazy. Oh, it's high. It's really, really high. We're arriving. Okay, I think we should move here. Okay, so let's have that. Where are they? Let's search for them. Oh, here they are. Say hello. Let's zoom in. Hello. All right. And of course, let's check the brain itself from the above. So here we go. Oh, this is my shoes. Beautiful shoes, of course. No ads. Look at this. Look at this maze. This is just incredible. I'm making a picture of it actually because it's just fantastic. And this is again, we're looking at it in real time from the above. And what we can do right now is I'll jump down. I'll put the camera like this, and I'll jump down, and you will see me fall. Woo! All right.
Man, he looks like a bomb from the sky.
Yeah, and what I
100%.
like about when people jump from the above and they scream because the sound
Yeah.
is a live generated sound,
Yeah.
and
I
it's simulated
felt
like
it a
really
lot.
you hear the person is kind of like
Yeah, it
You
was
know?
exactly like that.
yeah,
it was
it's
exactly
it's
like
it,
that.
the whole
Wow.
the whole thing is simulated in real time for everyone in a different like so
Yeah.
if you would be like 3 meters further away, for you it would sound a little bit different than for Jesse and for us. So yeah, it's incredible. And the view from out there, I made some pictures. It's just wow. That maze
It's
is
just
incredible.
it's insane.
It's really
And I
insane.
think that adding some elements of interaction as Daisy did, you know,
Yeah.
for an architecture, you know,
Serena.
thing is something that
So
really
you press with
enhance,
your right hand pointer
the
to the you
experience,
press
you
down
know?
on the
Yeah.
red
Because
platform and it'll take you up.
It's
it really enhanced the
Okay.
experience.
absolutely. The bill is this is one of my favorite builds in Somnium right
Oh,
now,
okay.
and there are a lot of those. So,
And then
so.
walk to
Bye,
the other
Serena.
side once you're up.
Oh, and she's up there. Okay, she's going up.
Yeah.
Let's zoom in. Let's zoom
Bye
in.
bye.
Oh, she's going up there, and we'll see her going out. So,
She
by the
made
way,
it. She
in
made it.
meanwhile, while Serena is exploring the upwards, so if you all see around, I'm showing the around. Let's say I switch to the selfie mode. Like
It's so insane how
all
it's
the
grown.
mountains inside in the distance, every cloud, every build. This is created by our users, and the environment is real, and there's no textures. So it doesn't. So it means that the mountain you're seeing behind me, it's not a fake mountain or a image or something. You can actually walk there right now for 20 minutes, and you will reach the top of the mountain. You can climb it, and you will see this
Wow.
build from the top of the mountain. If you will zoom in on your camera, you will see it live, and you'll see even people running around live. So that's what means a persistent virtual reality world. So that the experience of the world and everybody are in the same world at all times in real time. There's no sub rooms, sub servers, we don't divide people into instances or something like that. So it's all live for everyone, and we just experience the same thing at the same time. So fantastic tour, fantastic build.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's crazy.
I just like I can sit in world and like the sky with the stars, it's just incredible the experience once you're in.
It's a magic feeling when you build something in the builder, and then you press the button,
Yeah.
you upload it, and you come into the world, and you see it in
Mm.
VR for the first time. Something you've been doing in a 2D client, you see in VR. Every time it amazes me. It's a great
The
great
scale.
the scale, everything. You just stand there and like, oh wow. I think Serena is having a good time up there.
Yeah, I
We're
think
having a
so.
And then-
conversation up there.
Really, and then also to invite your friends in from
Ta-da.
all over the world to
Yeah.
experience it with you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
They're
live,
about
right?
to
Because
jump.
let's recap the countries we are right now having here and having the live conversation. Czech Republic.
Italy.
US.
And then we're all over the U.S. East, Central.
yeah,
Texas.
different parts of the US.
Exactly. You see,
No,
and
no,
we are
Serena-
having a
Serena
live,
is-
and Serena is in UK,
Serena
right?
is UK.
Right. So
UK,
we are
yeah.
all basically in different locations.
Oh,
we're
here they
having,
come.
Sasha is in Canada, by the way. So Sasha is in Canada, and we're having here a live, no delay conversation, basically, in VR, as if we would be hanging around together, which is completely simulated, but it's 100% realistic. And we're exploring art inside a virtual reality gallery live, while the moon is moving above us. I don't know if this is not a Ready Player One or Ready Player Two or Ready Player Three. I don't know what is, to be honest. It's a quite a strong experience. So thank you very much for this amazing art, for this amazing build,
Yeah,
and the tour.
fantastic.
Fantastic tour. Thank you.
Yeah.
For allowing us to build this.
I'm honored.
Yeah, thank you,
I can
Desiree.
say
That
a few
was
words,
great.
just few words from me as a creator of Somnium Space. I've imagined things back 4 years back, when I was thinking about Somnium and starting Somnium. I thought about stuff. I was imagining the world full of amazing creations and stuff, but never ever have imagined that it will be, as great and as amazing as it is right now, and that we'll have so many talented people and passionate people in community in the world. Every time I go inside the world, I'm super honored. So thank you
Yeah.
for all being here, for making this world a live place, and for just it motivates the whole team. It motivates me and the whole team, and we are going to build a better and more amazing place. And a lot of things are coming up, so stay tuned for that. For example,
Yep.
an exclusive announcement. We're actually thinking to add a spray painting thing into Somnium, so you'd be able to go into VR, take the spray,
That
and
sounds-
make
that sounds
amazing
interesting.
images on the walls live.
Oh,
And
wow.
a good
Wow.
example of persistent world. Here is someone coming. I think it's Wilson, if I recognize him from the distance. This what means a
Oh.
persistent live world. We're having a community or a random conversation. Hello, Wilson. Hi,
Hello.
nice to see
Hey,
you.
Wilson.
Hey.
Hello.
So
Yeah.
look
How you
look
doing?
at look at me, everyone. Let's do a selfie. Let's do a selfie. Just gather
right,
behind me.
let's
Gather
go.
behind me, behind the gallery, and let's do a selfie. Okay, that looks fantastic. So look
Okay.
there.
Ooh.
This is the camera here. And three, oh, wait. All right. A little bit more. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Done.
Hello.
Beautiful.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
And Arthur, if there's
And
one thing I could
How did it
add,
feel
you
to
know,
jump?
Yeah.
yeah, from the museum, you know, if there's any artists, any creators, designers that are out there and inspired and, you know, are looking to come into Somnium Space and experiment, us as the museum, you know, we have an incubator district. We'd be happy to rent you land for free, because we love to just see how people are continuing also outside of us to push the limits of the builder, and they inspire us as well.
One
So that's an open offer to
100%.
anybody.
And if you're an artist and you didn't do it yet, what's wrong with you? I don't know. Yeah. But one thing I'll add as well, if you are searching on how to connect with the community and find Colburn and Desi and everyone there, one of the best places to do it is our Discord. So go to discord.gg/Somnium Space, and you'll meet everyone there. And I guess on this note, I would say thank you to the live stream. Thank you for everyone
Arthur,
here.
Thank you,
please?
Mattia.
you.
Absolutely.
You. Yeah,
Yeah.
guys,
Thank you,
really, thank you so much for this. Thanks all MOCA team. Working with you guys was really incredible, and thanks so much for this opportunity
fantastic.
because it was an experience that I will remember for long,
Oh, everybody
long
here.
time. So
100%.
thank you so much, guys.
And
Thanks,
Yeah.
Serena, for her work. Always amazing.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you,
really
guys.
love
Thank you,
working
Serena.
with Serena.
Thank you.
And also thank you, Arthur, of course. You were an incredible host. And thanks to everyone who participated to the live show. Thank you so much
Yeah, thank
for
you.
joining
There's
us.
been quite a few
Thanks.
people watching.
Thank you, everyone. And on this note, as always, I
you.
say, see you on the other side of the monitor. Goodbye.
Bye.
I was just watching online on and
MOCA
my
team,
tea, and then I jumped in
thank
straight
you
away
so
just to
much